Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series. I am thrilled today to have Maggie Kane, the founder of A Place at the Table right here in Raleigh. She's also an NC State grad, which my Wolfpack heart loves.
Go Pack.
But I am so excited to have her here, and I am going to turn it over to her and let her introduce herself.
Awesome. Thanks, Danielle. I'm so excited to be here. And yeah, just really pumped and honored to be a part of this. And thanks for inviting me. So I am Maggie. Yes, as Danielle said, I'm the founder and currently the executive director of A Place at the Table. We are a pay what you can restaurant in downtown Raleigh. What that means, you want me to dive into that too?
Yeah, yes, we're gonna get into it anyways, but feel free to share whatever.
Sure. I guess I'll go back a little bit more. I'm from Raleigh, so I don't know who else out there is from Raleigh, but proudly from Raleigh. Never thought I'd stay here, but it's funny when you get called in other ways, and you are here. And I love Raleigh. I have a twin sister with two children. I'm a recent new aunt to a newborn who was born 3 weeks ago. And I have an older brother with a almost 10-year-old nephew, or his son, my nephew. So they all live here. My mom lives here, and just really lucky to be in Raleigh, and lucky to have gone to NC State and graduated, and lucky to have started A Place at the Table.
Yes. I love when I get to talk to local people like yourself. And I was just talking to, I just had Sarah Moody, who runs
Oh,
Pop
yeah,
Up, Triangle Pop Up.
he's
And
awesome.
her and I were talking about it. I was like, whenever I introduce myself and people ask all the time, like, are you from Raleigh? And I'm like, born and raised. People are like, wow, that's really rare. And I'm like, is it? I'm like,
I
it
know.
doesn't feel that rare.
That's what I say. And then they say, "Oh yeah, you're a unicorn." And I like it doesn't feel that rare anymore.
It does.
Yeah,
I
it
think
just
I
there's a
think
lot of us.
there's so many people from New York and
Yeah,
Chicago moving
moving
down
in.
here that it's like, guys, we've been here our whole lives. We,
Yeah.
we, we haven't gone anywhere. You guys have just come down to our
You just
state.
come to join us. Yeah. No, yeah. Did you see your I mean, I know this is a podcast about A Place at the Table, but did you see yourself staying here? Did you think you were gonna stay here?
I did. I don't know about you, but I stepped on NC State's campus even after being born and raised here. I stepped on NC State's campus. I was like, oh my God, this is home. This is where I'm
Love
meant
it.
to be going right now. So there was no, and even I went to ECU for 2 years, and then transferred into state because I didn't get in right away. And I was like, I I love it here. I've gotten to travel. I've gotten to do go overseas. I've gotten to travel the United States, and I'm like, I just love coming back. I mean, what other place can you drive 2 hours and hit a beach, or 2 hours and hit the
Yep.
mountains at the same time? Like,
Yeah, no, that's totally the truth. And yeah, it sounds like you travel a lot with your races and stuff. So yeah, I think I actually I hated high school. I'm like one of those that I talk to a lot of high school kids and I'm like, you can do it, just make it through.
yeah,
Um it was awful. So I that really prompted me wanting to leave and get
right,
out of Raleigh.
yeah,
But I went up to Appalachian and loved it. I love the mountain. I'm a big mountain girl. I'm a big
okay,
hiker. And it was like -3 degrees and pouring rain. And I knew that I have seasonal depression. I've got one of those lamps. And I knew that I would not be happy in
right,
in a cold setting like that. So ended up going to NC State, and it really was the best thing. So I feel that with you too. I
yeah,
walked around campus, and it was awesome,
yeah.
and found my community, and here I am. But we are so yes, full circle. Going back to it, we are unicorns apparently, which I will take that title. I love that.
You know what? I do too, and I will happily add it to my Instagram bio with just the emoji.
Just use a little emoji. And side note, so our cafe manager at A Place Table, which we'll
Yes,
get into, she is amazing, so amazing.
yes,
And we do a food truck rodeo every year. And so this year it was gonna be on her birthday,
oh my
and
God,
she loves unicorns and
yeah,
sparkles and everything. And so it's not we actually moved it to the day after, but she's gonna have a tent with unicorns and sparkles and glitter and fun. So we'll be sure to get that date to y'all. So hopefully you can
yes. Because that is so much fun, and that's
I know. I know. So anyway.
I love it. When I first reached out to you, I've known about a place at the table in you for years, just because they actually used you as an example in my business classes
Oh,
at
funny.
State as like a type of business model. So I was like, a place at the table in Raleigh. I was like, what a unique, like, pay what you can, like, nonprofit cafe. What a unique idea. I just want to start with how did that concept come to be for you?
Sure, yeah. I love that. I definitely took several of those business classes, and my mom taught in the business school, so maybe that's why they're doing it. But
That may be it.
Shelly Kane. No, but yes. So graduated from NC State. So that my story is a little bit, I'm at NC State. I actually went to school for international relations, Italian, and business. So I am still thinking, gonna leave NC State, gonna move abroad. I know it's so funny when I say that. Everyone's face goes exactly how your face just was, like a, wow, okay, what's she doing now? But I thought I was going to move abroad. I had applied for jobs, teaching English, doing mission work, or was also looking into like embassy work. But I ended up my third year of college. I ended up hearing a speaker at an event, and the speaker was talking about a day shelter he ran in Raleigh, or was about to open, I guess. And so I just immediately felt this gut feeling of I got to get involved with this. And so I reached out to him, got and heard more about it, and the rest is history. I was there every single
Yeah.
day. I really just fell in love with everyone I was meeting at this day shelter. And
Yes.
for all who do not know, because I didn't know, a day shelter is a place where people who live outside, people experiencing homelessness, or
Yep.
people facing extreme poverty, can go in the day and just have a place to be. They can get coffee, they can get off the streets, they can use the bathroom. And so we would see anywhere from 100 to 150 people a day coming in and getting off the streets. And so I just loved it. So I graduated college. Very lucky, side note, very lucky to have graduated college. I look at our kids now and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't have even gotten into college now with my
Yeah.
grades. So I feel very fortunate to have been able to go to a 4-year school, and I graduated, and several folks experiencing homelessness came to my college graduation. And it was in that moment where I said, wow, yes, I'm applying for other jobs elsewhere, but I think I need to stay here and do this work for a while.
Yeah.
And so I kind of created my own job. If anyone ever wants to talk about that, like I will gladly talk about how you create your own job, but worked my way in, created my job, and ran this day shelter, became the operations director of this day shelter, day center. And it was there that I really just got to know people even more, being able to spend, 8 to 12 hours with people every single day and get to know their stories and their hopes and their dreams, and they got to know mine. And for me, getting to know people is really done through food. Coffee, drinks, whatever. It's that tool to getting to know someone, to creating community, to building relationships. It's we all have to eat, and I think we
Yes.
all love to eat, I think. As I'm on my like 10th cup of coffee. But I really, so I started to eat with folks who were sleeping outside at night, and that ended us up at the soup kitchen a lot.
Okay.
So downtown Raleigh has an amazing soup kitchen. If
Yes.
anyone is looking for a volunteer opportunity and or needs a meal, they feed from 11 to 12 every single day, a huge meal. They feed about 300 people. They're really fighting food insecurity.
Yes.
Um, and so I would go with folks to eat. But what I found was it was so different than my privileged life experience, where I can choose wherever I want to eat. I can spend hours with someone. It was, you wait in line, you get inside, you get handed a plate, and then you have to eat really quickly so someone else can come in and eat. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, of course, but
Right.
it was again so different than my experience. And so at that point, I started taking folks out for meals, and I saw they wanted to go to places with a lot of choice, and a lot of food.
Yes.
And so in my head, I asked my friend John, who changed my life forever. I said, you've chosen Golden Corral multiple times now. Why? Is it because you have a lot of choice and you can pile your plates on? And he said, sure, Maggie, the first is true, right? Choice. I get to choose today if I
Right.
want a salad or if I want steak. He said, people make every choice for me, from what I eat to where I sleep. I get to choose here. And then the second, he said, I feel, then he said, the more important thing is I feel seen here. He said, people treat me as invisible. Here, someone acknowledges me. They say hello as I'm entering. They come and check on me. They ask if I need a refill. I'm seen here. And it was in that moment, that was that mic drop moment for me,
Yeah,
that I said, okay, we have to create a place where people have choice and people feel seen.
absolutely.
At the same time, it was back in 2014 where while Raleigh, we've talked about it, it's so awesome, love Raleigh.
Yep.
It was also a time when gentrification was happening more than ever, and of course it still is happening more than
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
But downtown Raleigh specifically, poor people were getting pushed out, and so really felt that there was this need to bring people together, create a place where everyone has choice, feels seen,
Yep.
and so started researching, found the pay what you can system, found that it existed in other places, and
Yep.
said if other places can do this, then Raleigh can too.
Yep.
And fast forward, we opened 4 years later, done.
But
Just
what's
kidding.
so cool about it is that, and I think one of the biggest pieces of a place at the table is community. You've got this incredible, even when you were getting this all together, you had people donating money, equipment, their time to help put together this community cafe. And I think that's the beautiful part of it is the community aspect of it. And I think you've done a beautiful job of just that's never wavered with a place at the table or with you, and that's always carried through with your business.
Well, thanks for saying that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for noticing that, because that is, I've always said, if we are not doing that, we're not living our mission. And our mission is community and good food for all, regardless of means. And so we use good food as a tool to creating community. So yes, we're fighting food insecurity and we're feeding a ton of people every day, but we're really fighting community insecurity, providing a place for so many who need a place. I think the pandemic has taught us a lot of things, and it's definitely taught us that there are a lot of hungry people, but it's
Yeah.
also taught us that there are a lot of lonely people.
Yes.
We all are searching to belong. We're all searching to feel acknowledged and seen. And so a place at the table, if you can feel seen just for a minute,
Absolutely.
then it's gonna make your whole day. It's gonna make your whole week.
Absolutely.
And so we are just a place where a lot of people come in to feel seen, and we are yeah, it's a really special place, and I'm so thankful to be seen there and to have community every single day. Um, so yeah, thanks for saying that. Thanks for noticing that.
Absolutely. Now, because you just mentioned it, I would love to know from your, local perspective, owning a business, COVID happens.
Yeah.
You're
Whew. Oh my gosh, I got like post, PTSD from it. But
PTSD
yes,
from it.
we all do.
When that happened, what goes through your mind when you are working,
Yeah.
helping the homeless, helping, in the community? How did you how do you do
Yeah.
that?
It's a great question. Let me, I'll get into the feelings in a second, but I'll put
Yes,
it into perspective first, just I think we all, during the pandemic, things change in all of our lives, right?
absolutely.
But so our model, just to put it into perspective, is before the pandemic, we were this tiny cafe. We saw anywhere from 50 to 70 people a day coming in that needed a meal.
Okay.
The pandemic hit, we saw upwards of 400, 450 people a day needing a meal. Hunger, we really saw hunger present. We did curbside, a to-go line all the
Okay.
way 3 blocks
Okay.
down. So our model flipped on its head. Before the pandemic, we had about 70% of paying customers and 30% of non-paying customers. And these cafes need paying customers to survive.
Right.
And then pandemic hit with those 400, 450 people. We had no paying customers, maybe 1%, which was amazing woman named Heather who works downtown, and my mom. So it truly, our model flipped on its head.
Yeah.
And it was really, really tough. We did that for about a year, and then we were able to reset, get back indoors, add volunteering back, all of
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
But how did we get through it? So I really think that we were in so first I will say was not easy. There was many, many periods of sadness, depression, whatever the anxiety. But I I think I was running on adrenaline if I'm being honest, and problem solving mode all the time. But what it finally came down to, and what I told our staff was, we are so lucky because there are a lot of people at home
Yeah.
right now. They're
Yes.
stuck at home. They are isolated from their people, from
Yeah.
all people. And we get to show up every single day. We get to be together. We
Yeah.
get to have each other's back. We get to see each other. We get to laugh together. We get to cry together. We have each other. And as I said earlier, the matter of loneliness, like we COVID brought on a loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
And so or pandemic. I don't know what you would what that word what you would use for
Pandemic,
that.
but yeah, yeah.
Epidemic, whatever. Oh, I don't what is an epidemic? I gotta think about that. But it really did like and so I said we get to show up every day and have purpose and be around each other. And so that's like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that that's how our team felt was, yeah, this is really, really hard, but we have each other and we're in this
Right.
together and we're
Right.
gonna be
Adrenaline just running
but
off.
a lot of adrenaline, and I run on adrenaline a lot, but I am thankful. And then how else do we get through it? I'll say this community. You mentioned and touched on it earlier. This community wrapped their arms around us. They supported us, whatever we needed.
Absolutely.
They were there. They were present. They donated in kind, donated dollars, all of that. So places closed and organizations closed, restaurants closed, and I'm so fortunate to say we didn't
Yeah.
because this community had our back.
It's so funny because and we were talking about this before we started. I've lately felt like the Raleigh community is so amazing, and we had, like I was saying, we had the stadium series this weekend.
Yeah,
I have never seen so many
yeah,
people rally around a sports team
yeah,
quite like this before and show out like we did. And it's because we represent, we know how to
we do.
represent, and we know how to just be with each other. And
Yeah,
it's so hard because in this world today, we're so wrapped around Karens and all the so many issues we have today in this world
yeah,
that it is
yeah,
it is so nice when we get the glimpses of, wow, this community is amazing.
yeah,
It fills your cup up. It really
yeah.
fills your cup up just a little bit more.
That's so true. And yeah, I saw all the pictures of I think everyone I knew was at the Stadium Series game. So I loved it. It looked awesome. And it's true though. I think this community really cares. I'm currently writing my newsletter for I do a monthly or
That's
bi-monthly or
awesome.
every 3 months newsletter, whatever happens. And I'm writing it and I started with like the heaviness of this world is it I mean the world is really heavy and it's hard and we're all experiencing it. But at a place at the table, like you can walk in and it might not feel so heavy. Like we see the heavy every day that walks in that door. We're the intersection of all the heavy. But but we are here and it is like the to me it's the definition of that Raleigh has your back.
Yeah.
And you just see the intersection of all of Raleigh
Yes.
coming together and all of it county to just be there and support each other. And to your point, coming around hockey and coming around the sporting event, but coming around food every single day.
Yes. I want to ask the cliche question
Go
of,
for it.
how did the name A Place at the Table come to be? I mean, and just from what you were explaining, such a great significance of just being seen, but how naming is so hard for me. I'm just always curious with, how did that come to be?
Awesome question. It's not cliche. I actually never get asked that question. So
Good.
I got asked it the other day for the first time in years. So I yes. Okay. So we it did. It was like kind of like happenstance.
Okay.
We chose a different name. We
Okay.
chose the gathering place. wanting to be the gathering place. And of course, like I did not know how to start a business, but I applied as for an LLC
Yes.
with the Secretary of State as a gathering place, and I got denied because that name was already used in another place in North Carolina.
Right.
And so I mean, for me, there are a lot of moments that are God things. I'm a person
Yeah.
of faith, and so I was sitting in a friend's office who happened to be a pastor at a church, and it was open to the Presbyterian hymnal,
Okay.
like a hymn book of music. It was
Yes.
open to the song "A Place at the Table," and so where it just, I mean, essentially says where we all have a place at the table,
Yes.
and so it was right there, and we had just gotten denied, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
And it's such and I'm so thankful for it
Yeah.
because it really is who we are. But
Yes.
I can't like think back and say, wow, I was so insightful back then and I knew. No, I literally saw it on a piece of paper and I was like, okay, this is what we need to
There
be.
it is. There it is.
And hopefully we don't get denied again.
There you go. But it's so fitting. I think just because it fits well with your story and what you've been able to do in the community and what you've been able to see, I think it fits perfectly with the being seen and everybody really truly having a place at the table.
Well, thanks for saying that. And I do. And side note, like I get to use it all the time in every single speech I have and every single like I get to always end it as and you have a place at the table. It's pretty good.
I
Pretty
like
good.
it. I like it. Your elevator pitch must be fantastic if you
So good.
like
It's
that.
I know. It's like a long-standing joke. Like every newsletter. We'll see you at the table soon, you know. It
I
just is
love
very
it.
fitting and no, in all seriousness, it really is. And I think we've gotten really great feedback about it from all of the community, where people really do feel like they have a place.
Okay, I have to have like a fangirl moment with you because you maybe a month or two ago were on the Kelly Clarkson show.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Can we? I mean, I adore her and I love this show. And when I saw that you were on there, I was like, stop. I was like, Maggie's on it.
Oh my God, you should have come with me. I seriously though was in the air flying in an airport longer than I was even in like LA
I'm
talking
sorry.
to Kelly
I'm sorry.
Clarkson. But I always forget how far it is to go to California. But
It's
thank
fun.
you. Yeah, it was awesome. We're so fortunate. They reached out to us in December. We flew out in January, and it was really really fun. Kelly, I know you said you love Kelly. Like I didn't realize how much I love her too. She is a
Yes.
great human. I had a dream a couple days ago that she asked me to be her co-host, and I about fell out. So I think I'm a fangirl of Kelly now. But she
I
really
love
is
it.
as nice. She's as nice as you would even that you see on TV. She's
Sure.
like the nicest human.
I love it. Her and Drew Barrymore, their two shows now.
Yeah.
I mean, my two favorite. But when I saw you were on there, it was like it was everywhere too. My whole LinkedIn
Oh
feed
my
was
God.
like you and Kelly Clarkson. I was like, oh my God, Maggie's on it.
Oh my God. It's like vomit. Like it's so ridiculous. It's we're very fortunate. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong,
Yes.
but it's like I like to put my head down and hide. So I wasn't even gonna watch it, and my staff did amazing, and they were the real heroes on it, and they were so great, and they were like, "Maggie, you have to watch it with us." And so I was like in the corner at a place at the table. Oh, and this is funny. We are such a mess at a place at the table, not like the Kelly Clarkson shows. We are such a mess. We could not even get. We tried from 2 to 2:30 to try to get it streamed on our TV in the cafe. And we could not figure it out. Like we had three
I
different
love
people
it.
on different computers. We were looking for HDMI cords. We were like, how do we work this? And so we barely made it to
Yes.
watch it.
Oh my gosh.
That's who we are. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm like you guys think we all have like Kelly Clarkson shows that we have it all together. It's perfect. No. No,
No.
together, but that's life. So.
It's like a controlled chaos. It's like right now what I can see of you, it looks really nice. What I don't know and what you can see of me, there's like stuff everywhere around me right now. I'm like,
Random printer I tried to hook up earlier. like, look at my kitchen's gross. Like,
Controlled
no.
chaos is what we can all see right now and what we all show to everybody.
And we call it at the cafe, we call it beautiful chaos. We say all the time that it is chaotic all the time. So for all who are listening, if you come into the cafe, I swear we say that it's beautiful chaos, but um it could be the best reality TV show. It's like you never know if you're gonna see someone fighting, you're gonna see two people like meeting for the first time and having this
Yes.
amazing moment, hugging, all like
Love that.
ask for your water to be refilled 100 times. But at the end of the day, it really is. It's like it's chaotic and
Yeah.
messy, and
Yeah.
it's as I said, the intersection of all these different people and places and
Yes.
things. But it is beautiful, and you walk away just feeling like loved and cared
Yeah.
for, and so
Yeah.
beautiful chaos.
Yes. What I loved about I'm a research nerd, so I love to look at what a place at the table's impact has been, and you guys have these numbers that on your website since 2018, and I just want to read these. Over 2,000 individual volunteers each year, $175,000 pay it forwards, and 108,000 meals served to someone in need. I'm sure the pandemic probably increased those numbers in terms of meals served, but what an impact. And does it feel, and this maybe sound like a weird question, do you feel the impact that the place at the table makes, or does it just seem like
Thanks.
you're not making enough, or what does
Yeah,
it feel
such
like to
a good
you?
such a real and good question. Thank you for looking and researching. That means a lot. And yeah, that just also shows me we haven't updated the website in like a year. So that too, beautiful
I'm
chaos.
calling it out. I'm here to help you, Maggie, in
Yes,
however I can.
yes, exactly. No, we have an amazing. That just means I'm not doing my job and getting the proper information over to our amazing marketing coordinator. But yes, I do, and I mean every single day. It goes back to what I said. It's so chaotic in there, but you sit back and you're like, wow, like this works. This is not supposed to work, and it works. And I give all of that, as I said earlier, to the Raleigh community, but to a place table team. I think what people don't know is that we have 22 paid staff. So we have 22 people who work tirelessly every single day to make that place what it is.
Yes.
And then on top of that, we've got maybe um, I'm trying to think of how many volunteers in general, but every day we at least have 50 or 60 volunteers, whether people are coming in weekly for a weekly shift, or whether they signed up online, or whether they're volunteering for their meal. Those 50 to 70 people make that place what it is every single
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
alongside our staff. So I look back and I'm just like, dang, like they do this. They do the hard work. I get to like be in the background and be on the Kelly Clarkson show, but they are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to watch and just see that it's working and that relationships are being formed and
Yeah.
that people are loving each other. And so yeah, I think we do see the impact. Now I'm not here to say that it's every day we're smiling and everything's great. Like it is really really hard. That hardness we feel in the world, we feel it at a place at the table.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we all know why we're there, and we
Yeah.
all know that a place at the table, it needs to be here.
Well, and kudos to you as well, because part of that, you built that team, and that team is what makes it run. So kudos go to you as well, because
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
you put that team together to make it run like a well-oiled machine.
Well, thanks. I give
Well,
a lot of credit to my director of operations, my cafe manager, my every other person on there that's hiring good people. So I feel very thankful. We have such a solid group of people that believe in this mission, and it's really fun to watch.
now I know you're in downtown Raleigh. There's not a whole lot of space left in downtown Raleigh to do a whole lot. Is there an idea to, okay, we're going to go do this in Durham, or we're going to go do this in somewhere else in North Carolina? Is there any idea to go and expand?
Yeah, great question. So we get this question a lot, and I actually get a lot of calls from people in these cities that want to open up cafes or want us
Yeah.
to come in and franchise. And while I think it would be great, and I love to travel, it would be awesome for me. I believe strongly that it's probably not our mission to do. I
Okay.
think that these cafes come out of community. The reason a place to table is so
Yeah.
special is because, as I've said multiple times now, like the Wake County community wrapped its arms around us. But do I think that this model can work in Durham, in Winston,
Yeah.
in New York City?
Yeah.
Yes. And so what we want to do is be a place that people can come learn and train with, and then we can help them open up their cafe.
Okay.
I know that there are two amazing people in Durham ready to do this.
Yes.
So like, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to call it a place table. Let's figure out what works in Durham
Yeah.
to be what works in Durham that would make a pay what you can restaurant run and
Yes.
be successful. And I think that you come learn from us. We figured it out. We have the right team in place. We be that training ground, and then we watch you thrive and you open up, and we're here to support. Like we're currently working with. There's a group in Wake Forest. There's
Okay.
a group in Pittsburgh. There's a group in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
So there's multiple places that are trying to do this.
Yes.
My director of operations and I are going to Charlotte soon to talk to some of them. So again, they come out of community, but we're here to help.
I love that. I love that. But and I think that's very unique, and it's almost you paying it forward as well and helping people do what they can to be in their own communities because like you said, a place at the table may not work in Durham, but something else might in a different form of it.
So one of my greatest friends in this world is a woman who runs the one, and she doesn't run it anymore. Actually, she has now stepped back and put it in people's hands. But they were on Mentor Cafe out
Okay.
of Boone. So ironically, I ended up back in Boone, where I originally wanted to go to school. But they run a cafe called Farm Cafe. It's a pay what you can restaurant, and it's so different than a place at the table. But
Wow.
that's what's so cool is they're all so different,
Yeah.
but they work where they work.
Yes.
So so Renee and I speak on a lot of panels together because we're like, okay, about Pan restaurants, because
Yeah.
this is what works in Boone, this is what works in Raleigh, what works in your community, and we're here to have your back. And that's essentially what Farm did for me, and Farm Cafe did for me, and so it's cool. It's cool to see. But these communities have to figure out what works best for them.
Okay, it's early in the morning and I'm going to ask the food question because I'm hungry.
And
Quick.
well, you just ran 10 miles, so you need food.
You're coming up with the menu, like you said, you wanted choices on the menu.
Yeah.
You still have a I love following y'all's Instagram too, because the other day
Oh my
there was a
God.
cinnamon roll and I was like, my God, now I want a cinnamon roll.
Girl, I mean, every day, I swear. Like people said the COVID 15, or the COVID, whatever you call it, COVID 10, 20. I got the COVID, I got the place at the table 20 from the baked goods every day.
Is there a favorite you like? And then
Yeah.
how did that menu come together?
Awesome. Yeah, I no credit to me. I don't cook. I'm not good at cooking. I don't not even good at baking. All
Yeah.
credit to our team and kitchen.
Yeah.
But our, we had a head chef, executive chef, who's now our director of operations. He created the menu, and has really added all of his flair into that space. And then he's got a great team of bakers and line cooks that are just exceptional and all
Yes.
super creative. Like yesterday, they randomly threw out French toast with berries, and it was awesome. And so they really get creative in the kitchen, which is also fun to see.
Yes.
So he is he's the one that created all of that.
Yeah.
My favorite. So okay, this just depends on the hour of the day. Cinnamon rolls for sure. Never had a cinnamon roll better than a place of tables, and I mean
Yeah.
that. People said about the biscuits too, and yeah, of course. So we have these giant biscuit sandwiches that are really good, spicy cheddar, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh,
Um, but I love the huevos rancheros. Those are delicious.
yeah.
I am a creature of habit, so I eat a lot of huevos and
Yes.
health salad for lunch.
Yes.
It's just a really great salad, like
Yes.
I'm addicted to lettuce. I love
Yes.
like greens, and So the lettuce and all that comes from Raleigh City Farm. So right down the street from us in Raleigh, they donate all of their produce. So every produce item in the cafe is from Raleigh City Farm.
Okay.
But our sandwiches are great too. We have a lot of gluten-free and vegan options, of even baked goods. So
Okay.
we'll always have those in there too to be
Okay.
accessible. Our coffee is great. We use black and white roasters. That's in Raleigh as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong. But I would say top three: cinnamon roll, huevos rancheros, health salad.
I'm hungry now.
I know. And I gotta also give some credit. Going back to the coffee, is our baristas are amazing, and they make these. I'm not a latte. I'm a black coffee drinker, but
Right.
if you're a latte fan, right now we've got a lavender latte, a lavender fog. We've got different things on the menu. I think they did cherry Garcia or something. So super
Nice.
creative too.
I love that. What are you looking forward to this year? What is the place at the table a part of? Do you have events that you're doing?
Yes.
What is going on
Oh,
this
I'm
year?
so glad you asked. So earlier I said the food truck rodeo. So June 4th, food truck rodeo at a place at the table across the street in the parking lot. We'll have 8 or 9 food trucks come out, and it'll be pay what you can for food trucks.
Okay.
So we really want, we get to do it every day in the cafe.
Yeah.
Pay what you can, but we don't get to have a huge event where everyone can come and eat together, and
Yeah.
then also making food trucks accessible to
Yeah.
people. So food truck rodeo June 4th, that will be so fun.
Okay.
That's all we've got right now, and but we do, if people follow us on social media, you can see some of the events that we have.
My last question for you, Maggie, is just what inspires you?
Ooh, people. That's a great question. Thanks for asking that. People inspire me. I mean, I wake up every day, I go to bed every night thinking about the
Yeah.
amazing humans in my life.
Yes.
I really believe that I was put on this earth to just love people and be loved. And so people inspire me, their stories, their hopes, their dreams, as I said earlier. And I will continue to always just love people.
I love that. And like I said, this community, it has so many great people in it and so many people that are doing so much good.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not hard to be inspired by people like yourself, but
Yeah.
others just that
Right
are
back at you.
so much incredible work here. It's what makes Raleigh, and that's what I believe.
Yeah, we are lucky to live here. We've got some really, really great humans.
We
So yeah, thank you for having me on. You are inspiring me to get my butt up and go for a 10-mile run. So thank you.
If you do it, please message me and tell me that you did it.
Oh, I'm not doing it. That was a joke. But I did do 2 miles. So,
Hey,
no, 10, I'm gonna let you keep that. Mm-mm. No, I'm on the way to go get a sports massage. That's how bad my body feels after 2 miles. So
that
I'm
sounds
gonna let you keep the
fantastic.
10.
Can I have one of those now?
So I'll give you my contact. Vince, but myology is incredible.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
But Maggie, I can't thank you enough. You guys, if you guys do not follow Maggie or A Place at the Table, please go follow them on socials. You can stay up to date with everything that they've got going on. And Maggie, I can't thank you enough for coming on and speaking with me today.
Well, thanks, Danielle. It's so fun to hang with you. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you and everyone else at A Place at the Table.
Yes. See, there we go. Elevator pitch right there. You
I
always,
told you it's so easy. See you at the table soon.
I love it. And as always, I will see you guys back here next time. Bye, y'all.